my name is Rowlands. I'm a nutritional balancing practitioner, and in this video I'm going to talk about what health and wellness looks like and feels like. Because obviously if you're doing a health program, you want to ensure that you obviously you want to be looking good, feeling good, and what you're kind of aiming for, what are some of the signs that you should look out for when you're healing and getting better. Obviously, hopefully you should start feeling better. I mean, that's the main point. So I'm going to actually kind of talk through a small article that Dr. Wilson's written. So according to the medical profession and also much of the holistic health community, health is defined as the absence of disease. In other words, if a person does not have any health conditions such as heart disease, cancer, infection or diabetes, then the person is declared healthy. Wellness is a healing concept that rejects this understanding of health. Instead, it defines health as a separate state of the body with its own signs and symptoms. The question arises, what does wellness look like? This article is a compilation of reports about wellness we have received from our clients. So the orders of the body, the breath and the stools become more pleasant. So yeah, I mean, I used to have really, really bad breath. I don't have bad breath anymore. Usually bad breath has a lot to do with liver toxicity and candida and various fungal infections that go off in the mouth, etc. So obviously when the body becomes more into balance, when the liver becomes more cleaner, then you want to be you want to be hoping that bad breath disappears. Other things is that the fungi and other chemicals can make the body smell. I know people that are ill and you can smell this kind of pungent fungi smell from the skin. Stools become less less smelly. Mainly the reason being is that a lot of toxins and candida and gut bacteria are kind of festering in the stomach for a lot of people. So as you clean that out, as your gut flora improves, as you do coffee enemas and the digestive system improves, that also increases. One thing that's not been added onto here is that I noticed that as I start to heal, I used to smell more hormonal. I could smell my hormones, which I hadn't smelled for a long time. So that's a good sign of improvement, obviously, is when you can start to smell things like that. Psychology. Clients report being happier, enjoying life more and smiling more. The body often feels more solid and steady. So yeah, I remember a few years back I was so just down and depressed all the time, and I just thought, wow, is this what life's all about? I remember that I when I was at school I used to just laugh and belly laugh all the time. But when I was going through a hard time, I wasn't laughing at all. I actually thought that it wasn't me that was the problem. I thought that it was society. It was just boring. And as you got older, just people didn't really laugh too much. I later realised that a lot of people around me are actually sick, and now, I'm laughing, smiling all the time, constantly telling jokes, constantly, having banter with my friends. And as your energy and your vibration improves, you get people that are on a similar vibration and wavelength to you. I mean, that was nice. I mean, it is really nice to laugh again. I'm definitely happier physically and mentally. I'm starting to realise that happiness is much more involved than just having a good physical body. One thing that really gets me down is just I just see the world around me and it's just so back to front. It really affects me, because I just see that we're kind of slaves to the wage. Most people are ill, having pizzas and stuff, and I've got upside down thinking, spacey thinking, and it does get me down quite a bit, because I just know that the world could be such a happier place, and I'm very, very grateful of the fact that my friends and family are quite uplifting and nice people, and I do go to community events and stuff where, you know, people are a lot different, but I think it's one aim, you know, one mission. Well, it is the mission in many respects. Probably make a video on that, of our time on Earth is to try and make the Earth safe for love and happiness again. I'm not saying you can't find it. I'm just saying that, yeah, on the whole, that's kind of what you're into. Appearance. Most say they look better, and people think they are younger than they really are. I don't know how old you guys think I am. Their hair is often shinier, and they seem to have more sparkle about them. Hair occasionally turns back to its original colour if it wasn't grey, but not that often. Male pattern baldness does not often change. However, other hair thinning problems often improve. Hair loss can occur at times during a nutritional balancing program. This is due to toxic elimination. In almost all cases, when the elimination is over, the hair grows back. So I don't know what you guys think when you look at me in terms of my health, but I used to have big dark bags under my eyes. Sure you can see now my eyes look pretty clear. They used to be really dark. I used to be really pale. I know that the sun's been out recently in England, so obviously I have got a bit of colour. But I think on the whole I do look pretty good if I don't mind saying myself. I used to have acne and spots. My skin is super clear now. I don't have any spots or anything like that. I usually find that looking at people's hair is a good sign of health. From what I can see, my hair is pretty full. If you see, it's got a nice shine to it. You know, I do get comments actually on my hair. I can tell you now, my hair didn't used to look like this. It used to be really brittle and thin. It didn't have much of a shine to it. It was quite dull. So, you know, I mean, I don't really want to put down vegans and vegetarians too much, but I do see a lot of vegans and they're very pale, dark bags around their eyes, brittle skin, brittle hair, brittle skin even. You know, often they've got dry skin and spots, etc. So it is a good indicator, I think, of health, is how a person looks. You know, you guys might think I look terrible. But I'd like to think that you don't. That's the reason why you're watching this video. Sickness. People become sick much less often. They don't get colds. It does not last long. One will continue to experience retracing now and again, as long as it stays in the nutritional balancing program. However, as one heals, healing reactions are fewer. Yeah, I've not been sick for years. I've gone through healing reactions, of course, but never had a sickness. Never had a stomach bug. You know, I think the last time I had anything serious was when I was in Mexico 2.5 years back, and I ended up eating some chicken from one of the street food vendors, and that just must have had something on it. But one thing I do remember is that my body was really, really good at dealing with a problem. Even too good, to be fair. I don't want to go into too much detail, but put it this way, I was sitting on the toilet and I was in the sink at the same time, so my body was doing an excellent job of removing whatever was in my system at that moment in time. I was quite impressed. But yeah, I haven't been sick for a while, man. I haven't been to the doctors for about, God, it's 5 years, 6 years. So that's a good sign. Energy. Most people report sleeping better, have more energy, more alert, more steadiness with their energy. I used to have to eat 7 meals per day because my energy was so poor. Sometimes now and again I'll be so excited about life that I'll forget to eat. I don't even think about it anymore. And I could, if I wanted to, I could go all day without eating. I'm not, obviously don't recommend that whatsoever. I'm just saying that how I've improved from eating 7 meals per day to, you know, yeah, to be in a position that if I was in a position where I couldn't eat for whatever reason, I would be fine. My energy's steady. You know, I can switch into high energy mode if I want to. I can switch into low energy mode if I need to. That's what's nice about having an oxidation rate that kind of can flip in between different things. I wake up in the morning pretty fresh. Yep. You know, don't really have a problem with my energy anymore. Again, I do feel tired if I'm going through a healing reaction or whatever, but in general terms, people see me as someone who's high energy, has a bit of a spark to life, which is really nice, really nice. I'm really grateful of that, considering I was pretty bedridden for the majority of the time a few years back. Mental functioning, memory improves, as does one's ability to cope with stress. I've always had a decent memory. Well, actually, no. I remember when I was at school in my worst times, and I just couldn't remember things. It was going in. My mind just didn't. Yeah, problem solving. I remember actually thinking, wow, I'm starting to get really dumb, because I was a very intelligent person. I remember thinking, oh man, I'm getting really dumb. I can't remember anything. But now I don't have a problem with my memory. Memory's improving. But yeah, one of the best things that's happened to me is my ability to cope with stress. I was so ill that I couldn't even, like a bang like that would scare me. You know what I mean? I'd go into shock. I couldn't watch scary movies. I couldn't listen to loud music. But now if someone was arguing at me, I would get all anxious and wound up, and my body would go into a massive fight or flight response. But now if I'm under a lot of stress, I can actually deal with it pretty much the same as anyone else can. Even if I don't, I used to have a terrible problem even if I didn't sleep like 8 hours. Even if I just slept 7 hours, I would just feel super tired the next day. But now, again, I don't recommend it, but there has been a time when I was up all night, and I was fine, didn't have a problem. So you can see how things have improved for me. Signs and symptoms of wellness. Blood pressure is normal and low. My blood pressure is normal. Lungs are generally clear and there are no coughs or signs of disease. Again, my lungs are clear. I do cough sometimes now and again because I used to smoke, unfortunately, in the past. So I do cough up some stuff sometimes when I'm in the sauna, but it's nothing really problem. Pulse is in the normal range. Reflexes are generally very good. Arteries will slowly clean out if someone stays in the nutrition balancing program. I haven't personally seen my arteries for obvious reasons. Blood and urine tests. As long as one is in the nutritional balancing program, blood tests will be skewed at times. This applies especially to thyroid hormone tests, as there can be mild elevation of liver enzymes as the body eliminates toxins. Pap smear will normalise if they were abnormal, and other medical tests should generally remain normal. However, on a nutrition balancing program, retracing will continue. For this reason, it is also normal to experience physical and emotional symptoms at times. For example, if one retraces an old lung infection, one may cough for a few days or even weeks if it was a severe infection. Other evidence of a lung infection may also be present, such as pain or abnormal chest x-ray. Usually no medical intervention is needed and the symptoms will pass on their own. Always check with your practitioner if you are not sure what to do. Ear infections may also be very chronic and may appear after years on a nutrition balancing program. All of a sudden, one may experience pain, hearing loss, ringing or dizziness when such infection retraces. Symptoms generally go away in a few days to a week. So, that's generally what happens with a nutrition balancing program. Retracing occurs. I retrace now. It just goes to show how toxic and how just deep things go when it comes to the level of people's health these days. It's a real problem. So, hair mineral analysis chart of wellness. Everyone is at a different level. However, general principles are no Fowler's pattern, no extreme toxicity pattern, no very poor eliminators. The sodium-potassium ratio is in range from 1.5 to 7. The oxidation rate is usually slow but not extremely slow. If the oxidation rate is fast, it is only mildly fast. How long does it take to reach a stage of wellness? For this, it varies. Some people are not that ill and may live this all the time. Most do not. In most people, it takes at least 5 years on the program. If one is quite ill or doesn't do the program well, it can easily take 10 years. So, I was probably in one of the extreme cases of illness. I've been on the program now since June 2011. So what we are now, 2018. So do the maths. Pretty much come up to 7 years. Just over 7 years now. How long is it? What is continuous healing? This means if one stays with the program, the body will continue to detox and remineralize for years. This is unusual and does not occur with most healing programs. Part of this is due to development, a special process that causes deeper healing that begins after one has been in the program for 2 to 3 years and will continue for years if one sticks to the program. So, hope that helps you out a little bit. What does wellness look like? I've still got a long way to go, in my opinion, for my with my health. But I know you guys are watching. I have a lot of symptoms that I used to have a lot of symptoms that you have, and I definitely class myself now as above normal, above average person. I was way sick, super sick. So the program does work. One thing I'm going to be doing soon is trying to get some testimonials for you guys on YouTube. So keep a lookout for that. If you want to start the program, give me a shout. Reflexes are going. Lewis@deephealingspace.com. Check out our website, www.deephealingspace.com. Woo! Over and out, Captain. Ciao.